Hey everyone, welcome to the Clydesdale Fitness and Friends. My name is Scott Switzer. I am your host, and I am the Clydesdale. We love to do fitness, and these are my friends. I have the normal person, Kat, with me tonight.
Normal.
Yeah, normal. Well, not really normal, but
I
she's
don't know
one of
about
the
that.
regulars. Charlie is going to be popping in anytime now. He's just having some connection issues. And then we have a special guest tonight. One of our loyal listeners, Diane Stone. Welcome, Diane.
Thank you very much.
And just so our listeners know who you are quite the athlete.
I try to be.
Yeah. So since 2015, you have finished in the top 200 in your age group every year.
Yes. Yep.
And here comes Mr. Otey now. So let me get him in here. He must have got his connection issues worked out. Hey, Charlie. So we are introducing Diane to the audience, Diane Stone. And so, yeah, you finished in the top 200 in your age group every year since 2015.
Yes. Yep.
She's a badass. And Diane and I did our level 2 together in Morristown. That's how we met.
Yep.
4 years ago.
Yep.
And where do you coach?
I coach at South Madison CrossFit in Madison, Connecticut. We are a sister gym of Brantford CrossFit, and so it's great. So we have 2 gyms to go to. I really just coach at one, but yeah, it's great.
And in 2018, you won a major competition.
I did. I won the Granite Games. It was a great weekend. Great weekend.
And I know Kat volunteers there sometimes.
I did. I was 1 year late for you, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think you got to be my judge in 2019,
No.
but you did. I did see you.
Yep, we saw each other.
So we're excited to have you, Diane,
Thank
and
you.
for you to jump in on the conversation tonight about everything going on around the CrossFit world. And we apparently lost Charlie again.
I'll just ignore him. He comes in, he comes out. It's fine.
So I'm going to save the first agenda item until he's in because he is part of the nutrition challenge, and I want his input there.
Good, because I'm about to change my macros, so we can talk about that when we get there.
Okay.
Looking forward to it.
And he's back already. So let's start with the PFAA. That was announced, I think, right as we got off the air again last week. That seems to happen every week with our Wednesday night recording. The PFAA, the Professional Fitness Athletes Association. It is not a union, but an organization that was put in place to make sure that there were safety minimums and all kind of sanctionals and competitions around CrossFit, that they would have one voice as part of the plan for any type of competition or competitive season. Any thoughts about that?
So I've listened to a couple other podcasts, reactions to it. I think Armin did something, Tommy and Sean did something. It'll be interesting to see how it all sort of pans out. I mean, I think some people think like, well, it's about time, that athletes had some kind of a collective, if you will, to help represent them. I'm not sure the sport is there yet. And I don't know if it's like putting the cart before the horse, but either way, I think it's the direction that the sport needs to head in and probably will. So I'm not sure like how much efficacy it's going to have in the very beginning, but setting up now, I guess, can't hurt. And I think it gives the athletes sort of a sense of solidarity, especially in light of, recent events with CrossFit and things like that. So, it can't be bad, I don't think. And, we'll see sort of more to come and we'll see what happens.
I think it can play an important role as they're developing what the new season is going to look like. To get the athlete's opinion of what that format and what that shape should be when they develop whatever it is that's going to come out of all of this mess we've been through this year. I think that's really important. to at least have their input.
That's assuming that CrossFit recognizes it, right? Like, that was interesting to me when they said like, oh, they're going to be part of like creating the plan for the thing. And, I know people were upset because there wasn't a rule book, in the last 2 seasons, sort of before the season happened. And I like where it's going, like I said, but I don't know that CrossFit is necessarily going to be like, oh, okay, well now we're going to take into consideration what these folks want. I mean, is that like a foregone conclusion, or?
Well, I think they have power as a unified voice.
Yeah.
Because if they don't like what's happening, they can withdraw.
Yeah, I just don't know how much of an impact they're going to have in creating or designing the season necessarily. I think at this point, they'll probably have the ability to collectively react to it. But I don't know that CrossFit's going to like bring them in before, as they plan. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think we can get into that in another subject down the line. I think they already have.
Okay.
Because I do think that they showed kind of a unified voice through this year and the mess that's happened by actually having that formal now with goals and like a mission. It just makes it more solidified.
Yeah.
I think you're right about the, it may be premature, but it's better to do it now than to wait until it's too late.
Right.
It's easy to start the ball rolling, and if it doesn't work, it stops. But if the ball needed to start rolling a while ago, it could be just too far down, too big of a snowball to worry about.
Yeah.
So with this, let's roll to what's happening today. And there's a summit. It is the Future of CrossFit Summit in Boulder, Colorado. And they did invite top athletes. They invited, sanctional
Directors.
Mm-hmm. Loud and Live is going to be there. People like that to talk about what the upcoming game season is to look like.
Is that what the purpose of that summit was?
It is.
Got it. I thought it was like an affiliate summit or something. I read that wrong.
So I know like Dave Castro is there.
Okay.
It is in Eric Rose's hometown, and they did invite top athletes and coaches, like we said, sanctional directors, things like that, to discuss what the format should look like next year.
That's awesome. Then yeah, I misinterpreted the purpose of that. That's great. So it does sound like you're right that they're, moving forward at least with the option to hear other opinions and not just doing it in a vacuum like they usually do, which is great.
Right. New owner, new way of doing things.
Yeah, I love it. That's promising.
And it's a great first step for him to show that he's going to listen to all perspectives.
Yeah.
I mean, we won't truly know that till we see the plan.
Right.
Yeah.
Optics are better than nothing, right?
Right.
For now.
I mean, let's be honest. CrossFit is in a PR crunch right now.
Yeah.
They have to get ahead of this PR thing and rectify things that have just gone on. And so optics are everything.
Exactly.
Well, now that Charlie's internet looks like to be more stable,
yep.
Let's get into the nutrition challenge and our training week.
Yeah.
How's everybody's training week going?
Okay.
Training is solid.
Yeah, mine's going great.
So Diane, as a competitive athlete, how are you training now? Because you're used to training for like seasons or events, and now that we haven't had any of those for a very long time, what does your training week look like now?
Well, I ended up having to have some emergency surgery in March. I had a tumor removed from my spine, so right now I am very limited on my training. I am now back to doing a very modified CrossFit workout, and then I swim about 12 to 1,500 yards a day. So my year's a little different. This actually with what happened with me, this is actually was pretty good timing with everything that went on. So I'm going to look towards getting back to, I was supposed to go to the National Weightlifting Championships in April, which got postponed, but I would not have been able to go as it was. And hopefully what will happen now is that I can just finish out this year, getting myself back to as normal will be for me, and then start over. So I'm not sure my CrossFitting competition life will come back. There are a few movements I will never be able to do again: wall balls and back squats. Yeah, because the fusion is in my C-spine, and so I can't put a bar on my back. And then the head up, throwing a ball up will not be good. So my shift is now probably going to go towards weightlifting.
Awesome.
And, doing, so that's my story right now.
Well, that we learned a lot in that short little answer there.
Yeah. So can't pick up much with a numb ham.
Yeah.
Well,
And
we talked about
last
last spring too, how I think we caught up with one another to see if we were going to see each other at Granite Games. And that's when you told me, what you were going through and what you were doing. So
yeah,
I also think, at our advanced age, I think that the weightlifting track is a lot more promising. It's a lot of fun, and it's very technically focused, and you can have a lot of success, as an older athlete. I think more so in the weightlifting realm, save some injury, save some wear and tear on the body than you can with CrossFit. Just seems to be the thing. So that's awesome.
Yeah. So it's just a matter, life throws you some curveballs, and you just got to move with it. And this was one of them, and, do the best that I can.
Yeah. The timing worked out great in terms of, you having to deal with it when you did. So
yeah,
you didn't miss anything.
No, I didn't miss anything. The one thing that I like looking at going to a weightlifting meet, which is 3 days. Sorry, let me rephrase that. A CrossFit competition like the Granite Games or the CrossFit Games, 3 days of working out. Going to a weightlifting meet, it's 6 lifts. So spending the money to travel to lift a bar 6 times, it's like, but
it'd be very exhilarating though.
Yeah. Completely.
Yeah.
So
It's cool.
So my training though is going well. So thank you for asking.
Great. And you too?
Yeah, I mean, like I told you guys, I started doing some functional bodybuilding stuff, just to try it out, something different.
Just so you could look buffer on the screen.
Yeah, exactly. All for looks. Not, since all the competitions are canceled this year anyway, I'm not going anywhere. But yeah, it's been going fine. I've had a couple friends join me in the morning, and on the days when I don't have a partner, it's been a lot easier for me to do these workouts by myself than doing Grace or Fran or some of those sort of traditional CrossFit workouts that for me in my head are so daunting that I can't, unless I have somebody going head to head with me, they're really hard for me to do. So this is a lot of tempo work. It's great. My body feels good. And, I just got to get my macros down. I said, Charlie, I might change my macros tomorrow. I'm letting everybody know now.
Hey, it's on the record.
I might change them.
It's on the record.
So we'll see what happens.
Just
sleep's
go
been
ahead
good.
of time.
Yeah, I have to let you know ahead of time. I will report back to you later if I decide to do that.
Yeah, since I've been hitting my macros, as you will see on the our little score sheet, I've actually felt better during my workouts, recovering a little bit better. So there is something to, eating the right amount, sleeping enough. There's something to that, I guess. I guess we'll see if that still works.
Yeah. So I've been killing the macros. I had a couple off days, which I'll talk about here in a second. The workout stuff, I've been working out in my garage through this whole quarantine, and then went into the gym on Saturday. There is definitely an intensity level difference working out with your boys and working out in your garage.
100%.
Yeah. So I'm now committed, as long as the governor keeps the gyms open, to get into the gym 3 times a week and then do the rest of my week in the garage. So last night I went and did the workout at the gym. Again, the intensity level, as much as I want to say I'm not competitive anymore, when you see that person right on your tail, like you
can't help it.
Like, I don't want him to catch me. So I'm going to do a big set of this so that he is behind me. And then, so yeah. So it's been good. Macros, I thought I had it figured out. And then the beginning of this week, I got my fats out of whack somehow. And I was a little bit over on the fats, but I think I got that dialed back in. And I think last night I hit perfect. And it looks like tonight's going to be another perfect day of macros.
You guys are killing it. I was perfect yesterday until I sat down at the end of the night to redo everything and realized that I had a thing of yogurt that I totally forgot about. I was like, oh man. Yogurt in. And it took me 30 macros off. So it went from 10 points to no points. I was so bummed. So attention to detail. I got to remember that.
Yeah. And so I guess I'll talk about last weekend real quick. So it's a good thing we started this whole thing because I got a call that CrossFit wanted to do a journal story on me. So a little mini documentary, and they came to the gym Saturday morning, and I had a bunch of my boys there to work out with me and my wife, and we got after it, and it was 18.1. Which was toes to bar, dumbbell clean and jerks, and row.
Yep. 20-minute.
The intensity upping, I was out of breath pretty quick. But then when you have a camera in your face, you can't stop.
Yeah.
So it was really intense. So we did that, and then we came back to the house and went through from, 12:30 to a little after 5. The camera was on in my house, showing meal prep, showing, interviewing me pretty intensely, interviewing my wife, and walking around the house a little bit, looking at some stuff, looking at the podcast center. And then he actually filmed the podcast we released on Monday, the Green Beret Project. He filmed me doing it from this perspective. And then Sunday we did a whole bunch more. Went back to the gym, did the first workout I ever did when I went to a CrossFit gym at 500 pounds, which was a version of Murph. So we redid that in the exact same style I did it that first day. And you think, well, that's really easy, but when you do it slow and controlled, oh my goodness, it caught up really fast. And then they wanted me to throw a barbell around a little bit to film some of that because we hadn't done that all weekend. And a couple more little interview pieces, but really excited. It has wiped me out for this week. I am so exhausted after that weekend because it was up pretty early and didn't sleep well with the nerves going on with the whole thing. And now it's just a waiting game to see when they decide to release it.
Very cool. I can't wait.
And we don't know a release date. So and I've talked to a friend who had one of these done. They never told her. She was sitting on her couch one night and her phone blew up.
So cool. Can't wait.
And that's how she found out. So
gonna be good.
It was a lot of fun. I was very honored to do that. But it was very emotional to go back down that journey again.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait to see it.
So what else do we got here? We have, don't forget, we got merch out there. Still doing the stickers. See, I got them on my water bottle there.
This guy right here?
That guy right there. You got them from your wife?
No. Oh. These are the ones you gave me.
Oh, never mind. I didn't get mine yet. I was going to show you mine, but I don't have mine.
I sent
Snail
you
mail.
a week
Snail
ago.
mail, Columbus, Ohio to Wilmington, Delaware. I gotcha. It's all right.
So if you want one of those stickers, free of charge, just send me a self-addressed stamped envelope. I will put my address in the description again this week, and I'll send you out a couple. And again, if you're one of the first 25, I'll even send you a retro sticker to our first logo and a magnet.
Retro.
I thought you were going to. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Retro sticker.
Love it. Yeah, you're missing a key component on there, but
One of them has your hand in it. It doesn't have this one though. I'll have to show you that later, Kat.
So we also, I think we have coffee cups still available. If you go to my Instagram in the link tree, you can go to my store and you can order coffee cups there with a cool retro logo or the logo you saw Charlie put up. And then I think they're going to let me move the hats over
nice.
for release by the end of this week. So those will become available. And I have shirts designed. It's just with COVID, they are not letting me move it to the store for mass production until they get caught up on some stuff. So as soon as that becomes available, I will move those over as well. And in the shirts, we have long sleeve, regular unisex tees, muscle tanks, and racerback tanks. So all of it available.
Love it.
For the low.
Oh no. Join the movement.
So the scholarship program kicked off last weekend in Atlanta, Georgia. And Dave Castro donned the red shirt for the first time in years, traveled to Atlanta, and I think they said they had 7 young men take part in the first scholarship L1. And if you want to put a smile on your face, watch Chuck Carswell work with these kids.
No, he's great.
Amazing.
Again, I've said it on this podcast before. That is one of my favorite people in the whole world, is Chuck Carswell. Every time I've had to work with him, it has been a joy to work with that man. There's something about him that exudes from him that is just pure joy. And it showed when he worked with those young men in Atlanta.
Did you see him like doing his football moves?
I
with some of the
did.
young man. Yeah, that was cool.
Pretty impressive.
Yep.
He was getting off on those young men.
Yep, he was.
What's that look, Charlie?
Oh, nothing.
You're questioning Chuck's ability?
Listen, I'm not here to challenge Chuck. I'm just saying. Anytime, any place, buddy.
Love it.
Yeah. Okay.
He
First,
knows
you
where to
need to
find
beat
me.
your wife in basketball. Then
He
you can
knows-
start talking that way.
That's light work.
So yeah, it was a really cool thing, and the mentorship that's going to come out of that, and hopefully it becomes a success, and we can see it across the country, because I think that is a great first step in moving toward a more diverse CrossFit coaching staff across the country. So
Yeah. Love it.
So speaking of Mr. Castro, I don't know if you guys caught it, but he did an Instagram Live yesterday. He did his little workout at the ranch. I think it was 400-meter runs and air squats, 5 rounds and it was 400-meter runs and 30 air squats, 5 rounds. He was getting ready to go to the summit, and he was answering questions as people were throwing them at them. And he made a statement that he doesn't think Mat Fraser is going to win the games this year.
Well, that's because there's not going to be a games this year. That's probably why he said that.
Yes.
Fair statement.
His reasoning was that he has gotten soft, and because of his fame, and this year's games, the way they will be held will push him outside of his box, and he won't be able to handle it. So I ask all of you, is that Dave just poking the bear, or do you think he really feels that way?
100%.
Which one?
He's poking the bear. Or he would have named who he thinks.
It's probably both. I mean, if he knows what the test is, right? I mean, Dave knows what the test is. Nobody else does. And he knows Matt's strengths and weaknesses, if he's got any weaknesses.
That's what I say. What is it?
Maybe he knows something. I don't know. I mean, it's definitely, you know, he likes to poke the bear for sure.
Maybe he's letting Gerard come back.
Right. It makes for a good story, and we're talking about it. So
let me ask you this. We have a 4-time champion coming in and a 3-time champion coming in. Do you think they both defend this year? Either, neither, or both?
Both. I don't see anyone beating Tia.
But you think both will defend?
Yes.
I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that they are both going to win again this year, only because of the venue and the format of the games. However, if they can't have an international field because of travel and everything else, I think they have an advantage. Like, I think some of their best competitors are people from outside the US. And if those people are unable to come, then I don't think, you know, they're going to get pushed. But because the events are so unknown and could be so different than what we've seen at the traditional CrossFit Games, maybe.
Diane?
I think that, yeah, he just poked the bear. I think Matt, it's just been issued on alert, and he is going to go full send training between now and then, if he hasn't already been going full send.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with Tia, she's got it in the bag unless there is some way Sarah could potentially be here and challenge her. But I think that's the only female, maybe Holta, but I think they're in. That's my opinion.
So I'm going to go either, just to be contrary. I am going to go either. One of them is not going to repeat. One, the risk of injury on a it's not a traditional competition floor, right? I just think that the risk of injury is too great. So I think a fluke injury could happen and one of them doesn't win.
Don't say that.
Well, it's part of sports.
Oh,
I'm not saying like a bad injury, but injuries happen.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Matt fell off the cargo net 2 years ago. That could have put him out easily for the rest of the games.
He still won.
When they did the trail run the last time at Aromas, and they have to run down through that gully and run down. I mean, that was an accident waiting to happen for someone.
Yeah.
Didn't seem to take anyone down in the beginning, nobody that was.
Right. Sam Dancer got injured on the run. Still deadlifted a house right after that.
Right. Didn't matter.
Maybe 2 houses.
So it's going to be a weird test. And for Mat Fraser, he's used to Sammy preparing every meal. We don't know if he's going to have access to Sammy.
Right. That's what I mean. It's going to be different from what everybody's used to. That I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that the two of them have it in the bag. I really don't. I think there's too many unknowns.
Are you going to have your massage therapist? Are you going to have your chiropractor? Are you going to have it's a whole different ball game this year.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, so I'm going either. One will win, one will lose.
You're talking about a guy who worked out in his parents' basement that was about 7 feet tall.
Well, he's only 4 feet tall.
Right, but still.
Yeah.
So he's used to roughing it as you would.
True. Yeah, I mean, he's a Vermont boy.
Your parents is not roughing it. It was when I became an adult that it got way rougher.
Seriously. Yeah, I hope we get to find out.
Me too. Because what's happening right now with everybody, reeling it back in, it's boy,
Sucks.
it's sketchy. So, you guys know what happened on Monday?
Something
that's
about the show. Are you talking about this show?
This show.
oh yay!
This show. Monday was our 50th episode. Who
Well,
would have
very cool.
thought November 1st of 2019 that we would have 50 episodes in the books already?
Yep.
Can
Love
I
it.
make a caveat to that?
What's the
I don't
caveat?
know that I want to count the first 3 to 4 episodes.
Hey, you got to start
not-
somewhere. You got to start.
were
Yeah, episode 1 we don't even have out there anymore because the Otey children participated so much in episode 1 that we just kind of scrapped it.
It was quite the F
That's
show,
great.
if you will.
Yeah, well, high five for the 50th.
Yeah, right? Very cool.
High five, everyone.
Gotcha.
So, any favorite memories?
Cat.
So my
Kat,
favorite.
you started as a listener.
I know. Yes,
Then
I
you were
started
a
as a
guest.
listener. Then I was a guest. Then I was an interviewer.
And now you're a full
And now you
crew
can't get rid
member.
of me. Yeah.
Now you're a friend.
I'm a friend, official. So BC, before Cat, I'd have to say Larry Moss was my favorite interview.
Okay.
Random, right? But
Yeah.
I liked his story, and he's, I've met him several times, on the judges circuit, and he just seems like a great guy. So that's my favorite BC interview. I think my favorite was probably Jeff Goebel. I just think, I think what did Amy said she was gonna, when she nominates me for a Grammy, we're gonna send that one in. But that was just a really rewarding one to do, and he has a great story. And then of course, I think Adam's story was amazing. I think for me, because I've known Adam for so long, it doesn't hit me quite as hard as it should hit everybody else, because I've just known bits and pieces of his past anyway for years. But I would say those two, for sure, my favorites. Jeff and
Diane?
Adam.
As a listener, you kind of have a perspective different.
Yeah, Adams today, that one was like, oh my, that was amazing. Bill Grunler, oh my God. I was driving home from Vermont, and I just was like, it was amazing. And I did have the video on, listening. But I mean, he is amazing.
He's a cool dude too.
Oh yeah, and he just kept giving more and giving more and giving more, and then I have to say I loved Emma Carey.
Yeah.
I mean, what a poised teen, and amazing. And I watched her compete at the Granite Games last year, and
Yeah, in the elite division.
in the elite division, and I'm like, are you kidding me? And
Yeah.
she's no bigger than a minute, and I'm like,
She's tiny. Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. Dave Lipson and Camille. So yeah, I mean, each one is just has become more stunning than the next. So
Love it. Yeah, well, we should remind people that our 50th episode is with Adam Kramer, former felon, current CrossFit coach, working with inner city youth. So it's very timely and sort of in vogue right now with everything that's going on in the world, what he's helping.
Yeah.
And his story about turning his life around is just insane. So that released on Monday, and
it's a great one to
share.
It's a great one
Really
to share
good.
with family and friends, because we talk about CrossFit for about 60 seconds in that hour. Yeah. It is more about life. And definitely worth a share with everyone. And it is timely. It's not just in vogue, it is timely. And it's something that we need to hear throughout there. So Charlie, any favorites for you?
I like the Chief Keith one that we did way early. I'd love to get him back on now that our teeth are cut a little bit more than, because it was just you and I there that day. But Hebner, I just love Hebner. So that's one for me. And then really some of the ones that we just were on here, just kind of chatting it up, are always great to me too.
Yeah, it's funny because, when I started this thing, if you would have told me we would have had these people on, I would have called you a liar. There's no way. But I have to give a shout out to Saxon and Christy because they gave us a shot when we were less than 10 episodes.
Yeah.
And nobody knew us from Adam.
Yeah, Christy and Patrick were.
Christy and Patrick. That was the interview that kind of said, okay, I can do this and we can have fun with this.
Yeah. And that was awesome that you guys had both of them on too. That was a good one.
Well, and it told me that we could be different and it would still be well received.
Yeah.
Because most of the time you hear Christy talk, but you never hear her husband. And he was just as much a part of her story as she was. And she wanted him on. And it was just great. I love that interview. And that's like episode 9, maybe?
Yeah, early on.
Yeah. One day we'll put the bloopers out on what actually happened during that.
Oh my goodness. What a fiasco. Yeah, those first 10, so the first 10, I forgot my memory card for my digital recorder with the Airmos and O'Connell's. My battery ran out with Ben Smith 4 minutes into the interview.
Yeah.
Like we were a disaster in that first 10 episodes.
The Saxon one, we were worked out first and killed ourselves.
My hand was my arm was literally shaking because I was so whooped from the workout trying to hold the microphone to talk to him.
My microphone didn't work.
That's
so
right.
Amy and I had to share one.
Yeah, we couldn't social distance back then.
We were not social distant.
Oh, remember when Amy and I recorded my interview with Amy and we had to re-record the whole beginning?
Yeah, because
somebody's mic wasn't on or something, and we're like, oh my God. And that was my first interview, right? Was it Amy?
Yeah. So
I was a nervous wreck anyway. And then when Scott was like, we were texting back and forth like, oh, we lost the audio. Oh, we'll just re-record it. I'm like, no, like seriously. I said, like, do you have a script of it? And I'm just going to like talk the exact same words and you're going to like dub it in. You're like, no, you have to do it all over again. I was like, oh my God.
Oh no.
I was freaking out.
Yeah. I love all the interviews. They're just moments in every one that like just light me up. It was great catching up with Julie Fouché, someone that has been a part of my journey through the whole thing. When we talked to Sean Woodland and we asked about his dogs and the LA Rams, and he just lit up like a Christmas tree because it wasn't CrossFit. It was about stuff he loves outside of that.
How about Dex? Dex Hop. I never laughed so hard with
Dex was the most fun interview because we were laughing nonstop from beginning to end. When his wife chucked the water bottle at him out the patio window, and he said, "What's up with that, Nolan Ryan?" That was great. Gosh,
and remember Ryan Eldrod, and he had never Zoomed before or something. It was like the first time we're like in the middle of the pandemic, like 2 months in, and he's like, I've never used Zoom before. I was like,
really? And his phone overheated and he put us in the freezer. He put his phone in the freezer to get us back.
Oh, it was great.
So there's a lot of fun stuff. What's that?
The Buttery Bros being
Marston coming in 23 minutes late.
23 minutes late because he's like fixing a roof or something crazy.
Yeah, he just
fixing
forgot.
a light bulb.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh, Jesus.
Good times, good times.
Yeah, so many fun things. But really the most fun is when we just cut it up, and we have so many bloopers that people have never seen. And there are moments, and just to relive a couple, when I told the world that I moved to Columbus to see the world, what in the world was I saying?
What interview was that? Was that Annika Greer?
Annika Greer.
Yeah.
And then Amy's famous one was from that one as well, when she said,
"Oh wait, as a teacher, as a coach and as a person. Like she had to qualify herself 8 times. I'm like, really? Are you a person?
And
yeah,
when Kat wanted to send her the picture of her snatch to Coach Bergender.
Coach B, yeah. Well, that's still going to happen, so it's all good.
Hey.
And Charlie just, oh my gosh, when the poop incident and it became Lord of the Flies during the quarantine with his kids.
Yeah.
And then his interview with you where he had to hide in the car.
In the car.
Right. That was one of our first Zoom.
Right now?
I was like, wait, we're going to video this? Okay.
That's great. Yeah, that was one of our first YouTube ones, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That and Amy's favorite, which was obviously Con Porter.
Con Porter, yeah. That was good.
Our first Zoom interview ever was Con.
Yeah.
And then we did Chris Spieler right after that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a pretty good 1-2 punch.
Yeah, that was.
Okay, I'm going to add that one to my list.
Yeah, Spieler was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And I could have talked to him for another hour.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was fun. I'm sad that Amy's on vacation and doesn't get to participate in this.
We know hers.
But we'll do it at 75 or 100 and get her take.
She's gonna have the same answer anyway.
Right.
Yeah. Australia, Con Porter.
Australia.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So we want to remind everybody that we have a Whoop group. It is Clydesdale CrossFitter and Friends. And you can join our group free of charge if you already have your Whoop. And the code is COMM-F46A5E.
Super easy to remember.
Super easy.
I got it.
Yeah. COMM-F46A5E.
What we could also do is if people want to join the Whoop group and don't want to go through all that hassle, they can comment below with their username on Whoop and we can add them.
Okay. Or do that.
There you go. Full service.
So, and we have Tommy Marquez joined our Whoop group. So you can compare your stats to him, see how you're doing. And, Kat and I are killing him. So you really want to strive for us, not him. Right. So it's now time for a little more fun. So stupid question of the week time. Brought to you by, we wish we had a sponsor.
Okay.
So what is your favorite pizza toppings? Because that's something you hold dear and true. Like once you have your favorite topping, like it's at 50 years old, like I don't change. It's the same every time.
What's your go-to?
Pepperoni, mushroom, extra cheese.
Okay. I don't hate that.
You don't want to overcrowd the pizza. You got to let it sing. It's got to just have a couple notes on it.
Do you have what's a pizza place in your area that you like to get these pizzas from?
So my top two is a place called Borgata. It's New York style, hand tossed. Where the pizza isn't perfectly circular because it actually is hand tossed. Amazing. And
is it like a thin crust?
It's New York.
New York.
Yeah.
New York.
Okay.
And then my other one is Hound Dogs, which is near Ohio State campus. And that place actually get a different pizza. It is actually, it is pork. So it's like sausage, ham, and then sauerkraut. And it is amazing. When someone first told me about it, I cringed. Then I tasted it. Amazing. And it's
barbecue pork?
What's that?
Is it like barbecue pork or is it like vinegar pork, like Carolina pork?
So it's not pork, it's sausage and ham.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Sausage, ham. And then the sauerkraut, you don't really taste. It's more just a crunch.
I would hope not. Ugh. Okay.
So it's great.
Mr. Fruit in your ice cream. I gotcha. See how it is.
They're like a pineapple on a pizza? Is that where we're going down that road?
I would never put a pineapple on my pizza.
Oh. All right. So my favorite pizza topping is green pepper, mushroom, and onion.
Oh my gosh. Green peppers take over everything.
Green peppers,
Dominant.
mushrooms, and onions. Yes. And I don't really have a favorite pizza joint. Like there's this one place called Chow Pizza. And it's not chow like CHOW, it's chow like CIAO, the Italian chow.
Yeah.
And it's very thin crust. But yeah, that's it. No fruit, no sauerkraut.
So no fruit on your pizza, no fruit in your ice cream.
Got it.
I'm a fan of the founder's favorite at Donato's.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, sir. You got a little.
What's that?
You got a banana pepper. You've got sausage. You got pepperoni. You got ham. It's just a whole lot of everything on there. It's a thin crust.
Like super thin.
Super thin.
Like
But it's delicious.
awful thin.
Delicious.
Wow. I mean, we're not all going out for pizza, that's for sure.
Definitely.
Is it really a bad pizza? I mean,
True.
Well, you know the old joke. You know, pizza's like sex. When it's good, it's really good. And when it's bad, it's still pretty good.
Ding, 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 ding. That's a good one.
Oh my gosh. All right. So I would pepperoni pizza, but it's got to be like thin and crispy pepperoni. So that is like, that's really good. So
Very
as
specific.
but as a go-to, it's usually in our house, it's either white clam and or margarita. So the tomato basil.
Is that, are you making that yourself when you say in your house? Or
In my house.
ordering?
That's we actually had pizza 2 nights ago. And we had a margarita and we had a white clam. And so
White clam is in like real ocean clams.
it's clams with bacon and it's a white pie. No sauce.
I have never had that, but that sounds amazing.
It's really, really good. So bacon, white clam, cheese, mozz, and no sauce. And the place to
garlic
get
and butter?
Sure, garlic on
Yeah,
it like
okay.
crazy. And the place to get it is the best pizza in the world at Pepe's in New Haven. So New Haven style pizza is way better than that New York stuff. But yeah, we live a little too far away to do to go down to Pepe's too much. But we will travel down there and get it, bring it back out about 20 minutes.
Sounds good. Sounds great.
But otherwise, we just have a place here in town that's called Amato's, which makes New Haven style pizza. So yeah, but white clam or margarita. But if it's going to be pepperoni, it needs to be small,
And crispy.
round, thin pieces and crispy on them, so you get a little crunch.
Where it curls up.
Yes, yeah, little almost.
Scott gets his crunch from sauerkraut, so we're good. He doesn't need.
Hey,
crunch,
listen,
yeah.
I love sauerkraut. So kimchi.
No.
Oh,
I don't like pickled
yeah.
anything. No.
Oh yeah, it's so good. But I am intrigued by the what you put the banana peppers on the pizza. That I have to try that someday.
Yeah, if my wife makes the order, we have banana peppers on the pizza.
Delicious.
Yeah,
Have you
it's
ever
not bad.
Go ahead, Scott.
It's not bad. It's just sometimes the dill flavor kind of takes over.
Mm.
But
So, have you ever had mashed potato on pizza?
Mm.
I have once at
have.
Chicago. There's a place called, is it Chicago Pizzeria Uno, maybe?
Uh-huh.
I had it
They
in
had a mashed
Pittsburgh.
potato pizza. Of course, you had it in Pittsburgh.
They called it a pierogi pizza.
Put fries on your side.
Have you guys ever seen, there's a place like in North Jersey, it's called Bruno's Pizza and Bagels. And they make all kinds of pizzas, like hamburgers with sweet potato fries, They make like a grilled cheese pizza. They have like full course, like meatloaf and green beans on a pizza, like all this crazy stuff. And then they make these dessert pizzas that are like, like fruity pebbles with like a chocolate sauce, like a white chocolate sauce. And then they'll do like a Nutella with bananas, like any kind of dessert pizza you could think of, plus you put any like sandwich or meal on a pizza, they have it. I follow them on Facebook just for like disgusting, gross ideas. Chris and I, every once in a while, we're like, we're taking a road trip just once. We're gonna get like this obnoxious pizza, dessert and everything.
That's like Jenny's doing like green bean ice cream or some weird. That's too much. That's just
Jenny's. I gotta try Jenny's. I've never had Jenny's ice cream.
It's really good.
Yeah.
You like green bean ice cream.
They have like the lavender, whatever. Yeah, I can't do that either.
Peas ice cream.
Too much like fruit.
Their Brambleberry Crunch is freaking amazing, but that is fruit and ice cream.
Yeah, what the hell is a brambleberry?
I don't know.
Dingleberry.
It's good. Whatever it is, and their ice cream's creamy, like real creamy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So next stupid question: if you had the guts, what would your karaoke go-to song be?
Okay, so I've actually done a lot of karaoke.
That does not surprise me.
And I have a very low singing voice. Like I'm definitely not a soprano. I'm an alto. So there's only certain songs.
You're gonna say Johnny Cash.
No. But there's one song, and this is like from maybe the 90s. It's called Stay by Lisa Loeb. Does anyone know that song?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I can rock that song in karaoke. Yes. And then any Indigo Girl song I can probably do. And then there's one song with like Scherer Co. and it's a duet. Scherer Co. and who's the weird
Kid Rock?
Kid Rock. Yeah, that song.
Picture.
Got Your Picture Today or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can sing that one too. I can sing both parts of that one. So yeah, I've done some karaoke in my day.
Well, I can't sing for, can I say it on this?
Shit?
Sure.
Yeah, you can say
I
shit.
can't sing for shit. So yeah, no. But if I could sing it, and I would sing something like Aretha Franklin would be my thing. And what comes to mind is her song with George Michael, I Knew You Were Waiting for Me.
Ooh.
But yeah, no, every once in a while coaching, somebody will go, could you please change the music? Like I once I start coaching, I don't, but they go like, oh, she doesn't know how to play music either. So anyhow, yeah.
That's funny.
It's the difference between soprano and what was the other one you said?
Alto.
I know about alto ski area, but I don't know about alto singing. So there you go.
Charlie,
I bet you can carry a tune.
My mom says I can, so it has to be true. I'd probably have to start off with Prince and maybe slide into a little, depending on what type of adult beverages are happening there. If we need to go a little upbeat, we'll go. It's always a crowd favorite to hit a little Vanilla Ice and a little Journey, but we could hit all the boundaries up if we need to.
What
Okay.
do you got, Scott?
I did not expect Charlie to say Journey. I don't know.
Listen,
I do not see Steve Perry's voice coming out of you, but hey. So here's another, I guess, guilty pleasure secret coming out. I used to be a karaoke junkie.
Oh, look at that.
Serious junkie. And back in 1988, I was actually in a band.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Wow.
So for me, Actually, my go-to is Prince. Because I like to surprise people by hitting the high notes, being a
You have like a
Clydesdale.
good falsetto?
Yeah.
Nice.
I've done Frankie Valli. I've done, Staying Alive.
Okay.
All that kind of stuff.
Now I know what we're doing when I take my road trip.
And then like Goo Goo Dolls, I can kind of hit, that's kind of my range. But my friends and I used to play this thing called Kamikaze Karaoke, where your friend puts in a song and you don't know what it is until you get up on the stage.
And you have to sing it. Love it. Oh, we have to do that.
So it is, I'll try anything. But Prince is my go-to. There might even be evidence of a Prince number somewhere floating on a disk drive somewhere.
Nice. Let's talk about this band. Can we get a little more information on the band thing, please?
So it was 1988.
Okay.
The height of the hairband era. I was rocking a mullet that had been recently permed. And the name of the band was the Tornadoes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And what function did you play in this band?
I was the lead singer.
No.
Yeah.
I love it. Do we have photographic evidence of any of this happening?
Well, when the documentary guy was here, the perm photos came back.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Can't wait to see this come out.
We gotta get your mom on here and sort of verify all this information. This is so cool.
So my mom, this was when I was in college.
Okay.
She never saw the band. She's seen me sing. I've done a lot of singing, so my mom's a singer and they would have shows and stuff. And so they had a talent show one time and I sang in that.
Have you ever sung the national anthem anywhere?
I have done the national anthem later in life. That actually was just 5 years ago.
Okay. I sing that in my car.
Yeah, I'm always afraid I'm going to screw it up every time I do it.
Oh, I'm sure. It's a hard song to sing.
It's
I have to start so low to be able to do it.
There's a point where you can get into a loop because you know what I mean?
Yes.
And I'm always
afraid
afraid
repeating
I'm
yourself and you don't move on. Yeah.
Right.
That's so funny. I love it. Cool. All right. We're singing next time we get together.
All right. So let's finish this thing up so everybody can get to bed tonight. And what is the best thing you saw on the internet this week?
Can you hear me?
I
yes.
can.
Okay. I'm going to go before I'm gone. Apparently I'm freezing, but so I was watching a thing from a girl. Her site is called Woo Lift. It's WU Lift. And she is an Olympic lifting coach. And she broke down the clean event from the 19 games. And
I think we lost Charlie. He is totally frozen.
It was amazing. I just wrote that down. Woo Lift. Diane, you were shaking your head. Are you familiar with that person?
Oh yeah. Eileen Wu was Coach Bergner's model at my Olympic lifting course. So he came to CrossFit Milford and Eileen Wu, who we all call, said you're Wu. She was the model. So I got a lot of video of her going through all of this. And he must have given her a blessing to start Woo Lift. And so now she coaches, and then now Sage is with his, Mike Bergner's coach is now with him. And they travel together when it's not COVID times. So
is that how Sage became his person? Because
Sage
to be this other gal? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm assuming that she must have, they must have split up, and I'm assuming he gave the blessing for her to start her own thing. And but yeah, and you were talking about you wanted Coach Berdner to watch your video.
Yeah.
Send him your video. Absolutely.
I plan to.
Sure. No, definitely do it, because he's like told everybody for 2 days, send me your videos, because the boss doesn't ever like tell me to stop looking at videos.
That's awesome.
Like,
yeah. He
otherwise,
seems like such a good guy.
He's the best. But yeah, she's phenomenal, because she would walk around, because it was so big, there were so many, and she would walk around coaching us through it, which was fabulous.
Very cool.
So yeah.
So
Diane,
she's done that.
did you have
she's done a couple of series of that, where she did the first couple rounds of the clean event, which I saw maybe 6-8 weeks ago. Now she's doing the finals.
Oh, nice.
And she, in my opinion, is much more brutal than Coach B.
Coach B.
Coach B is funny.
Yeah.
She is ruthless.
I love it. Now, is this on Instagram or YouTube? YouTube. Okay. I have to check it out.
Okay.
Yeah. The one that just came out this week is Scott and Matt. It's just them finishing up the event.
Okay.
Check
All right. So my favorite thing, I'm still spending hours and hours on TikTok, which I shouldn't be, but I found this guy, his tag name on TikTok is called Face Only a Mother Could Love. It's all one word, Face Only a Mother Could Love. And he is a very scary Black man who all he does is scream at the camera positive thoughts. Like, he looks so intimidating, and he'll say things like, you need to be reminded that somebody loves you, and if you haven't been told today, I love you. And it's like this weird dichotomy of, this visual that you see and this sort of energy that he gives, and it's all positive in every single one of his videos. There's one on like suicide prevention. There's one on, just like self-care and everything. And he's the most uplifting character I've ever seen on TikTok.
Wow.
And I'm like obsessed with him now. So Face Only a Mother Could Love. Check it out. You'll be inspired.
Oh, look at that. That's great.
Do you have one, Diane, or?
Love watching Allison Holker and Twitch, who is Ellen DeGeneres' DJ, and he was on Dancing with So You Think You Can Dance.
Yeah.
But she's a creator of it. And every day at 9 a.m. West Coast time, I guess, and it's noon here on the East Coast, they dance. And it's just, I could just sit there and watch it.
Is this on TikTok? Do they do a live on TikTok?
No, it's not. They go on Instagram Live.
Okay.
Instagram Live. And what I don't know is they do it every day. So how do they learn the choreography? And then sometimes the kids are in there, and then sometimes they're, but the love that you see, the love that I believe that they portray, that I see, is just so amazing.
That's very cool.
They do have a TikTok channel as well.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. I subscribe to that one because it is unbelievable.
I just wish I had just this much rhythm in my body I got it to move a barbell.
There you go.
Hey. I have some rhythm to move the barbell, but I really just wish that I could move like they do. They're unbelievable.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I have two, because my first one's really heavy and I need something light to end the show on.
Okay.
So I watched Athlete A on Netflix.
So good.
Such a fantastic documentary, but man, I want to hurt people.
Yeah.
It blows my mind that we allowed things like that to happen under our noses.
Yeah.
And the thing that really impacted me is the Carrie Strug thing. We were so happy that we won the gold that we kind of put it out of our minds that we forced this little girl to do a vault on a leg that she could barely stand on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And after watching that, to know that, like, to realize she didn't have a choice.
No, not at that age.
The coaches were going to make her do.
She wasn't going to let them down.
Yeah. So that, so for people who don't know, it is about the USA Gymnastics, Larry Nassar, a sexual assault case, with the hundreds and hundreds of girls that came forward. And the kind of the thread through it is athlete A, the one who came forward first. And they just kind of follow her through this, and then bring the other athletes in as they kind of come forward. And I think the thing that was most impactful for me is these girls trusted that doctor so much that they didn't even realize that they were being sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
They didn't know that what was happening to them was wrong. And until someone stood up and said, hey, this is wrong. And that's why there were hundreds that then came forward, because they didn't know any better.
Well, and yeah. Or they knew, and they weren't willing to give up what they had for that. I mean, I know growing up as a dancer, and like, thank God nothing like that even close happened, but I can completely see how it could, right? In the environment that you're in. I mean, I had some male dance teachers that treated us like crap, and yelled at us and called us little shits and, like had no respect for us. But we were so disappointed in ourselves for disappointing him. And we were just being kids, so I get that mentality of, not wanting to say anything or, not wanting to cause waves, because this is your future. And even for ballet, there wasn't like the Olympics to come to. So like for these gymnasts, the stakes were so much higher. Yeah,
so definitely worth the watch, but you're going to leave it angry.
Yeah. And very powerful.
And then to finish lighthearted, because I don't want to finish on that heavy note, is one of my favorite shows came back to Netflix. I am so pumped. If you were not a fan of Supermarket Sweep, it still holds up today. Still, I watched 5 episodes yesterday.
Are they newly recorded or it's old reruns?
Oh, they're the old reruns.
Oh, okay. Oh,
it is the big hair, the big baggy sweaters, the knit pants. It is the pleated pants on the men, like all glorious 80s and early 90s.
Oh, so funny.
Supermarket Sweep.
Just remember, when you hear the beep, 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 think of the fun you can have on Supermarket Sweep.
Love it.
So funny.
That's amazing.
So I actually binge watched 5 episodes yesterday. It was glorious. And some of the products that don't even exist anymore.
Right.
It was a lot of fun. But yeah, Netflix has brought it back, and you can binge watch Supermarket Sweep. So
check it out.
Yeah, awesome. Well, hey, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button.
Yep.
And leave a comment. We have 50 episodes. We want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think? What do you want? We want to do what you guys as listeners want us to do. We have some big plans. Kat and I have been working the phones feverishly today. We've got some really cool stuff coming up, and we're still working some more. We're trying to get a big chunk done here in the next couple weeks, so that we have a lot of content for the next couple months. And with that being said, thank you very much, Diane, for joining us tonight and jumping on the show. Thanks loved having you and loved having your insight.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure to be here.
And so we'll see you guys next week on the Clydesdale Fitness and Friends.
See ya.
Bye.
Yay.